Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. The Silkyara tunnel rescue has shown the world the tenacity and the effort that India makes to bring its citizens back from trouble. When you look back through the past decade and even beyond, India has made Herculean efforts to rescue its citizens from the very difficult situations. Be it during the COVID crisis, where under Operation Vande Bharat, over 1.8 crore people were repatriated from across the world, or in the famous Kuwait airlift in 1990, where 1.7 lakh Indians were brought back after Iraq invaded Kuwait. You can also look at the efforts made every year to rescue Indians from natural calamities like landslides, earthquakes, cyclones and floods. In this telecast, NewsX pays tribute to our disaster relief and management teams for their tireless and consistent efforts for Indians at home and across the globe. Joining me on the telecast is Naveen Bhatnagar. He's the former DIG of NDRF. Mr. Bhatnagar, first a salute to the NDRF, to the operations teams, rescue operation teams that are spread far and wide in India who help in disaster, evacuations, rescue, relief works. I've given examples, obviously the latest one being the tunnel rescue. There is the COVID pandemic that spread across the globe and NDRF was there in the disaster management. There have been, like I said, several of these evacuations, earthquakes, cyclones, floods that have taken place across the length and breadth of the country. And the NDRF, the SDRF, and National Disaster Management Authority, they've all been present working in synchronized ways, in tandem, in communication with each other to ensure there are systematic rescue operations that take place, keeping in mind this is a very, very sensitive situation they have to deal with on a daily basis. Group Captain Dr. D.K. Pandey, again, the same question to you, keeping in mind while we have our Disaster Management Authority and the NDRF and the State Disaster Relief Forces, it is also the job of the Defence Forces, including the Air Force and the Army and the Navy, who have conducted several of these relief and rescue operations. How difficult are the circumstances under which the Defence Forces and the Disaster Management Forces operate?
The first thing is I will definitely like to congratulate the teams, those who were involved, and they have made all wholehearted effort by each and every individual of the team to achieve what appears to be difficult task and time-consuming task. They have made it very nicely. They have handled, and the way all 41 human beings were brought out. It is salute to all the people and the spirit which they have adopted. Now, as far as India is concerned, all three armed forces, not only armed forces, all over each and every individual of India, I will say, we appreciate that we are part of one family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is in our DNA. So any HDR, human assistance, disaster relief operations, every individual, irrespective of caste, creed, and party, and political and regional background, everybody have come forward and helped. Especially Air Force have crossed the international borders to extend the help. Not only Indians, from Indians, those who are working or those who are studying in those outside India. Even we have bought Nepalese, Pakistanis, also Bangladesh individuals. So it was a humanitarian relief work which was done. Definitely things are not that simple up here, because aircraft going to one place and coming back is not the simple operation. When you go, at times things are very odd. Like we appreciate in Sudan when the civil crisis was taking place, people have gone where the runway lights were closed and runway was not that smooth. And in odd conditions where it was rather hostile conditions, people have landed successfully, and we have got the people Indians from that place. So there are a number of examples. Even Ukraine and Russia conflict, we have seen Operation Ganga, the way it has been handled,
Yes.
the Kaveri. So many examples we can give, and you also quoted nice examples. So, but point is, these are the part and parcel of our operations. We are mentally ready, all people from defense forces, as well as all those in disaster management teams also. we are mentally ready, and we try to see what are the difficult terrains involved, what are the difficult timings, what are the odds which a person can come across in a particular area. So all those aspects have been catered, and nicely all SOPs have been devised. One more point I would like to add here: whenever we undertake any operation, the post-operation analysis is done, and we always carry home various lessons. Lessons learned are adopted, and we revise our standard operating procedures to ensure that the degree of difficulty is less, and we are able to extend all possible help and make the operation so easy, so that those people, those who are actually affected, just see the 41 people staying for more than 15 days in an area where nothing was certain.
Yes.
Their mental and physical strength shows how they.
Absolutely, sir. Captain Shyam Kumar, this is the day that I dedicate to our armed forces, our disaster management forces. And kudos to them that they continue to be resilient, they continue to put duty before anything else, and their primary goal, the most important goal, is to save lives, is to provide relief. Like I said, several examples, the tunnel, of course, the latest one, but also during the time of natural disasters, all the train collisions that have taken place in our country. Or for that matter, in fact, there have been a number of disasters that have taken place, war-torn countries where Indians had to be evacuated. And not just that, as Group Captain Pandey said, that there have been our forces that have been sent to provide relief and rescue to our neighborhood as well.
Yes, thank you. Disaster management has become a topic of the day, whether it is man-made or the natural disasters that we have seen around in the country and around us. You see, it is very, very nostalgic for me to start this discussion and experience that I have been a warship captain of Indian Navy, wherein I sailed to Sri Lanka in 2003. And you can see a photograph behind the island itself. I would like to show you here. This is the Sri Lanka island, and here is me, who has provided the flood relief operation at Galle and 4 districts, Anantapura and the areas around Sri Lanka in 2003. This was the maiden operation of Indian Navy conducted by the IDS, which came in 2000, that time only in 2003. Next year, tsunami came, and the India was fully geared up to undertake the missions around the neighboring countries. So these man-made disasters like this tunnel which has happened, obviously from them, 2005, the NDMA was formed, and the Prime Minister being the ex officio chairman of this NDMA, with the members and mainly from armed forces, as we have right now 2 members, one from Coast Guard and one from the Army, and plus some Army officers, naval officers, Coast Guard officers giving full support. The entire tunnel operation is a display of complete organized conduct of an operational nature. The whole country was watching it for 17 days. 41 members were trapped. Army, Air Force, the naval divers standing by for operations, equipment brought from different cities and abroad. The experts brought from abroad, like Arnold, from Australia, the rat miners, the primitive techniques which we could use it in the last moment to recover them when the machines failed. It says a lot. And I'm talking about this operation because humanitarian disaster relief operation has a wide variety which has been covered in international arena. But in Indian level, NDMA, SDMA, the president of the SDMA, like Uttarakhand Chief Minister, the PMOs people, engineers, the local people, everybody supported this operation.
Absolutely.
Medical team has done its way. And see, Aapda Mitra, I would like to say, point here, NDMA has brought out some ground realities. They have chosen hundreds of people in villages to call Aapda Mitra. I would like to say here that we must pick the people who are locally available and they are good in their hunars, their own skills, who can come handy during this. They should be all amalgamated, dovetailed and bit together, kept ready for such missions, whether it is youth organization like NCC or other youth organizations. I'm sure the NDMO is doing a great job under the political will, and the country is looking for any kind of disaster, if it comes to, we are ready for it, and if we have to do it, we will do it all together. So I'm very
there's
happy with
several
this
innumerable examples of the grit, of the successes that have happened, of a number of operations that have taken place where our armed forces, our disaster management authorities and forces have come to work. Dr. PSV Rao, you as a citizen of our country and looking at this Silkyara tunnel success that took place yesterday, the operation that was completed, and also a look back at the past operations, rescue and relief works that have been done. It's a difficult, hard, sensitive job to be part of, and the valor of our security forces, of our disaster management forces has to be given due credence.
Good evening, Megha, also all the panelists and your viewers. This yesterday was a real celebratory day, and I was involved on your channel during the final rescue, and this is a great achievement, and it shows not only the coordination between the various organizations which were involved in this, and what was impressive compared to what happens in many other nations, especially our northern neighbor, China, where many such disasters do occur. The big difference is, one, the fact that India openly, the government, both the state government and the national government, openly admitted that there is a disaster. They were not trying to hide the disaster. Secondly, throughout, they were very open-minded, willing to try various methods, including getting experts who have had experience abroad, other than our own various experts, right from the sophisticated American machine to the simple methods of rat hole mining. So everything, they were open-minded about it. They were also transparent about it. Every day they were openly admitting the problems they were facing and what was being done. They were not hiding the facts. They were not suppressing facts. This transparency, this coordination, this cooperation is the reason why the final thing has succeeded. And the whole nation was supporting it, and now the whole nation is celebrating it. And this kind of performance in the past has gave the confidence to the Indian government to set up that global alliance for reduction of for this disaster risk reduction. This India has shown time and again that in far off parts of the globe, way far away from India, the combination of Indian diplomats, Indian Navy, Indian Air Force and the Army, they are able to rescue not only Indians but also foreigners from places of not only natural disasters, also from man-made disasters like wars, and even there was a coup in Mali where Indian Air Force and Navy very quickly reached out and helped out. So we in India itself, the cyclones in the past used to kill large numbers of people. Now it may be cyclone, it may be earthquake, it may be fires. India seems to have got its formula right.
Okay.
Immediately we are able to get various agencies involved. And remember, in this tunnel incident, they even also called in the Indian Railways, because the Indian Railways is also building and maintaining tunnels. And one point to remember here is that this tunnel, the part which collapsed was not where they were tunneling. The part which collapsed was already prepared tunnel. So they need to look into why that happened. And luckily, this didn't happen after the tunnel was ready. And people who are not used to the claustrophobia of a tunnel traveling through it, if they had got stuck, they wouldn't have come out as fit as our tunneling people came out.
Absolutely. Okay, let me also get in Naveen Bhatnagar. He's joined us now. He is a former DIG of the NDRF. Naveen Bhatnagar, is due credit being given to our disaster management forces?
Yeah, definitely. It's a combined force. It is a combined effort. As your other panelists are
Sir, I will request you to
regarding it. So it's a combined effort, and not only. Yeah, please.
So there's a network issue over here. If we can request you to go to a place or join a network that is. Oh, okay. We'll try again. Yes, go ahead. We'll try again. If at all there is a network problem, we would request you to go to a stronger network area to connect with us. Okay. Coming back to you, Group Captain, Group Captain Dr. Pandey. Group Captain Dr. Pandey, again, is due credit given to our disaster management forces, and what more can be done for them?
The point is definitely we have to say that team has done good job and everybody has appreciated. So definitely now what we can do for future operations, the lesson learned must be properly. We should critically analyze each and every aspect, why it has happened, what has gone wrong, and what we should have done as part of the normal routine work, day-to-day work. And definitely, as you mentioned also, that Air Force has done wonderful job by getting various items from various places. The auger machine from Hyderabad, then rescue escapade was bought, then plasma cutter was bought. All those things means why we are getting things from outside. Can't we? Because number of borewell child falling in borewell, number of cases they do take place so frequently, because our approach is we are bit casual. We are not that sincere what the workmanship should be. So all those aspects are there. We have to revise our way to work. That is very, very important. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, that infrastructure resources, wherewithal, like all Air Force units, they have been all properly geared up for any accident of any disaster around that area, and every station has got a particular area defined. So the team is made, it has been part of the SOP, day-to-day routine, and anything happens, immediately those SOPs activated and people start moving as per that. But point is, you have to review, revise and revalidate these SOPs frequently, because number of improvements are taking place as far as resources are concerned, expertise are concerned, skill level, all those things we have to address. Otherwise, these incidents will keep on repeating, and we'll be wasting a lot of time as well as effort also.
Okay. Captain Shyam Kumar, do you feel that the efficacy of our disaster management teams or the disaster management operations that have been done in the past versus the recent ones that have been accomplished, there is a sea difference in them in view of the kind of techniques involved, in the preparedness, in the emergencies, how their response has been, how fast their response has been, in terms of the resources that we have in being able to rescue and allow for rescue and relief operations to be implemented?
Very important question, and it has to be understood by the viewers, and they are all follow us for that part. You see, disaster management had been domain of the armed forces initially, because they were the government agency equipped with these kind of apparatuses, equipment and manpower. You see, as far as the Navy is concerned, every ship is called a rapid deployment unit, because when a ship moves, it moves with automatically. It has fuel, power generation, food, logistic support, divers, medical aid facilities, equipment to drill, flood, fire, energy. All this is together. So we have an exercise called NewsX, which is done at Cochin and Flag Officer Sea Training, which is auditing every ship. No ship can sail without this audit. We one day pick up a village and carry out a full-fledged disaster management exercise. I've been the commander backup number 2 of this team for 2.5 years. So every ship can support a small village or a place. When it goes, it can carry out immediate operations. Similarly, the armed forces, the Army and the Air Force, well known for the disaster management. Ever since the 2005, the National Disaster Management Authority was established. Then the state level managing authority. district level and village level, and Apda Mitra at the village level.
Okay.
This is the organization running. So this has come long way. NDRF has been made, SDRF has been made. Mock exercises for all states are being conducted under NDMA every month. And all the agencies are involved. Gujarat cyclone has been a clear display of an organized operation of NDMA, SDMA, and so on. No life was lost, and we had a very clear countermeasures made and planned before, during, and afterward. So I think India has done well in managing these disasters, and there are much more to do. With this tunnel rescue, there are lessons learned, and I'm sure we will move forward.
Okay. Dr. Rao, quickly getting you into the conversation once again. Now, has the value of human life being cherished more in our country as we become more developed and more equipped to save humans, to save our citizens, to, you know, like you said, you know, where there used to be a problem of, you know, roti kapda makan. That has reduced to a significant number. People below the poverty line have reduced to a significant number. When you talk about people dying from droughts, from floods, from cyclones, the incidents have reduced in number. We are moving towards, we have become a middle income nation. We are looking to achieve the developed nation goal. And when we talk about being a developed nation or a middle income nation, all these criteria have to be fulfilled to become the nation, become a developed nation, become a nation that values human life.
Yes, Megha. We are also now the most populous nation. And when we compare ourselves to another very populous nation, and it is financially, economically much ahead of us, China. You see the difference, the way China goes ahead with its disaster management and how India goes about disaster management. The stark difference, the lack of transparency in China, the lack of values. It is not just that because we have become well off compared to what we were in the past, that we are valuing our lives more. We have always valued our lives more, but many times we were disorganized. We didn't have anything. We had each person who having the equipment not being brought into the team. That has changed. The whole organizational system has changed. And you see now the government is also trying to integrate all the armed forces, all the three wings of the armed forces into a integrated teams. Now, the same thing with the disaster management. So we now are willing to spend on safety, on disaster management. We are also working on reorganizing these groups and having them well organized, and we are also transparent on it. We keep giving media updates, keep everyone involved, and our diplomats are also doing an excellent job when there are disasters abroad. Yeah. And you saw how fast we reached Nepal. China was unable to reach, and the Chinese people started questioning the Chinese government as to how come India was able to go and help immediately after the Nepal earthquake, and why didn't Chinese government reach there? This is the Chinese people themselves questioning their government. Yeah. So this is all seen. Plus, we are seeing that a natural disaster like forest fire, how badly it is being managed in very rich countries. So we have had forest fires. In my own state of Karnataka, we have had forest fires. But we are managing these things much better. So it is not just the richness, it is the fact that a mental attitude, and a country of 1.4 billion still values its 41 people stuck in the tunnel. The whole nation was involved in it.
Absolutely, and gives a strong statement as to the ethics, how the country at a point comes together as a whole. This is also the ideology, the way country looks at its people. You rightfully mentioned the same point. All right, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.